Hello students and welcome to the second topic. Now under this topic we'll be discussing the evolution of banking. How did banks start from being simple things to what the bank is now today? We'll go through the process of banks and how they started. So how did banks begin? A lot of people usually ask ourselves, where did banks begin? So around 2000 BC, okay? A long time ago. These were the times of Musa and other people. So these were the times where banks began as places for safekeeping. Okay? You had some valuable jewelry. You had something valuable that you wanted it to be placed at a specific part so that when you wanted it, you could go and collect it. This is how banks started. Around 2000 BC, then to all the way to 1000 BC, people started to deposit and store their wealth in these storehouses. You can call them storehouses. That, of course, the word banks was not used at that time. They used to have storehouses. So the only way these are, the first banks were actually what you call the merchant banks. Let me give you an example of something. Maybe let's think of a place like Kenya. You had the Kamba long distance traders, okay? They have come all the way and they have bought a lot of goods from the interior. That is, they have bought a lot of goods from the people in Meru, Kikuyu. Now they are going to sell them to the Arabs at the coastline. Then the Arabs, of course, they pay them using the cowrie shells and so on. They didn't know how to carry those cowrie shells. They didn't know a place to put them or to carry them inland. So what did they do? They went to someone called a merchant banker and put their cowrie shells there so that the next time they needed goods, they could get them from them. So the merchant banks, a merchant is more of a business person. So these were the first banks where people put their valuable and stored their wealth. Then, out of these banks, of course, is where now the currency came from. Now, when you'd taken your jewelry, your gold, and so on, if you had taken it for safekeeping, you are given a receipt, okay? So, if you think of an example of where you've taken some goods and you're given a receipt that says, okay, this person has deposited 3 kg of gold, okay? You're given a receipt that shows you have some gold in the bank. What did this mean? This receipt is how money was born out of it, because this receipt, you could now take this receipt and maybe take it to another merchant and tell them, okay, I want you to give me goods on credit because I already have 3 kgs in the bank. And that's how currency works nowadays. The only reason unaweza enda umpe mtu wa duka 1000 umwambie nataka kuchukua A, B and C is because they are sure pia anaweza chukua hiyo 1000 ipeleke kwa bank. Anaweza ichukua hiyo 1000 aende pia kwa the next person and buy things from them. So that's how currency came through. People depositing their valuables in the banks. Then when the valuables are in the bank, you're given a receipt. Then these receipts, the bank realized, wait, we can print these receipts and give people to exchange for goods and so on. Then let's talk about the goldsmiths of London. Now this was in the 17th century. These are the first people that realized, hey, why are we waiting for people to bring their gold so that we give them the receipts? We can decide to just start printing the receipts. And then these receipts were the first level of money in the country. Not in the country, but rather on the earth. Okay? So the merchants used to store their gold with the goldsmith in London at a fee. Then what about the modern bank? The bank nowadays, they don't have to have the gold, okay? There's no need for you to have gold for you to be able to bank with them. All you need is maybe an account. You open an account with them, you start depositing, then you're able to get loans and so on, okay? The first bank to issue permanent notes was in 1695. And this was the Bank of England. This was actually the first bank to issue notes. That is permanent banknotes. The way that a banknote is usually written, Benki Kuu ya Kenya. Okay, these were the banks that used to do that. Now with technology now we usually have our debit cards that usually you can just swipe them and they show you the amount of money that you've spent and so on. Okay, now let's think about what you usually call the credit card under the technology, the credit card. The best thing you can consider the credit card is something like Fuliza. Okay, Fuliza is a form of a credit card where you don't have the money, but Safaricom trusts that you can be able to pay for that good. What does it do? It gives you something sort of a credit card that allows you to buy goods on credit. You don't have to pay for them. You'll have to pay for them later when you actually have the cash to pay for them. Then we have the unbanked. These are the people that don't have bank accounts. They don't have any place. But the good thing about our country, Kenya, is that the unbanked, they can always access the M-Pesa services. So the unbanked is not a big issue for. It's not a big issue for Kenyans. So what's next in the evolution of banking? Usually talk about cryptocurrency. Now the way we talked about gold being something that give people receipts, cryptocurrency will also work in the same way, where all computers usually have to do a number of calculations. So you can use your computer, you can use your laptop to do those calculations, and you get paid by that the system or the blockchain. The blockchain pays you a certain amount of let's call it a coin. For example, you have you have Bitcoin, you have Ethereum, and so on and so forth. You have a lot of coins, but let's just use this as our examples. Now, when you use your computer to do those calculations, the blockchain gives you a certain amount a certain value of the Ethereum or the Bitcoin, and that's now the future of currency, because we talked about where people used to use gold. Okay, in this case now the Bitcoin or the Ethereum will do the same job, where people nowadays usually convert maybe 1 Bitcoin to dollars and so on. That is now the future of banking, where people will not have to have the paper currency, but it will all be under technology. Thank you, and let's have a great time. Remember, we are supposed to have a Zoom. Our next class will be a Zoom class, so make a point of going through that. And I'm hoping you are writing the notes, because these notes are posted on the portal so that you are able to read them and write them down, so that when you come next semester, you are already done with this. Thank you and have a great day.